I'm going to show you the process of making some Halloween cards using the Halloween Mice stamp set from Fawn. All right, let's get started. All right, I'm starting using my Cricut machine. I have a Cricut maker, but you could use any of the Cricuts. I'm going to do the sentiment, which is Happy Halloween. I don't have a die that says Happy Halloween that's as big as I want, so I'm going to use my Cricut. I'm vowing this year to use what I have, and except for certain things, don't go out and buy everything. I mean, I've got a Cricut. It sits on my desk. I should use it. So I'm writing Happy Halloween, and I'm trying to find a font that I like. I usually would look through fonts and try to take out any one I'd have to pay for, so I always put it through free and purchased ones and filter it that way. So I'm going through the free fonts. I want sort of a scripty thing, but not exactly script. And this one will work. What is it called? It was on the screen there for a second. Garanja Flower. Okay, whatever. And so I ungroup it to letters, and then I find out that when you ungroup it to letters, for some reason it makes the whole thing expand like that. What's that about? I don't know. But anyhow, I make it the size I want and sort of attach them to each other. So now there's no little dangle thing to attach the P's to each other. So I just put one on top of the other, and I'll go through and you'll see how I make it attach. I'll just highlight everything. Oh, I want the H to be a little bigger, and then that A looks a little too small for me, so I'll enlarge it just a little bit, and then I have to size it again. All right, it looks okay. Move the P over since I moved the A over. Move that P over so it's touching, and then the Y so that is touching too. All right, then I'll highlight the happy, go over to unite or combine and weld it together so happy is all together. All right, let's work on Halloween. So first I want to change the lettering. I want a different font for this one. So again, it's filtered for free and purchased. I think I only have one purchased. I don't even know which one it is. But I go with that one, which is Poker Night. So I like that font. I will ungroup to the letters, and then I'll start manipulating these. So I'm going to go fast forward, and you can see how I change each one and line it up. And I will admit I'm a little crazy in making the letters different sizes. I just like the look of that. To me it just makes it fun. I do also change the O. I wanted the O to be a circle. Originally I was going to have the O as a circle to have one of the critters jumping out of it, but I ended up not doing it, but I still like that O as a circle. In fact, I did it twice because one time it looked a little too skinny. The O just didn't go. And what else did I do? Oh, I cut off that middle portion of the E. I know there's a word for it, but I just used the, what is the button on it? The slice button, just to take off part of that, and then I duplicated it. So once I got it the way I wanted, I combined it all, I welded it all together, and then I did an offset so I would have an extra layer. And then all you have to do is click make. I don't think I saved it just because this was a second version. And you can do several on a mat if you wanted to. So that is how I did the lettering for my cards. All right, so this year I purchased Fawn's Halloween Mice. I like to get one stamp set for Halloween because I don't want to use the old ones, although I did. I'll show you some old ones that I used. I mean, they're 2 years old maybe, and I used some Valentine ones for Halloween. I am just showing you putting just 3 of the mice on some paper, and I am going to color it. I do use the Honeybee Stamps Intense Black Alcohol Marker Friendly ink. I like it. I've used it for a while. I think this one pad that I've had is maybe 3 years old. So I'll go ahead and do an impression with the ink, and I'll do a second one just to make sure it's good and solid. I will put this aside. I'm putting a piece of paper under it, and I'll clean that later. But let's go and color. I know it's really small. I am using Ahuhu markers. I don't have the expensive Copic ones, and these work fine for me. I got a nice set. I'll list that if you remind me. I do always write down the colors I use, and I keep that with my stamps, just because then I don't have to recreate the wheel if I liked it that first time. Otherwise, I'll just sort of cross out numbers that I wasn't happy with a particular set. And when you're doing a couple, it's easier just to go through in my mind. These are real small. If I did larger ones, I would do one at a time, but these are small, so I don't think the alcohol ink would dry. It still gives it a chance to blend. I usually try to use 3 different colors for shading and highlighting. I think with the pumpkins I actually used 4, and with the mice, no, the gray I used 2. The mice I did use 3. And I'll start with the light one, try to color it all in, then go with the medium value. Sometimes, listen, I'm not an expert. Go watch somebody else who's an expert on alcohol ink. I just know what works for me and I have fun with. I like to color. I mean, who doesn't like to color? So I will get these mice all colored, and then I grab a pair of scissors and actually fussy cut these. Now there is a die available, and sometimes I will go ahead and purchase the die, but I figured the amount of Halloween stickers I do, it wasn't worth it for me to get the die. If it was something I was going to do like 10 of, or 12 or 20 or whatever, I would certainly purchase the die. So anyhow, here I am coloring and cutting, and then I'll show you what we have when we're done. All right, now I have the detail-y things done. I'm going to make a background, but I'll show you. So here I used black glitter cardstock and put it on purple. I sort of like that combination, although I should have probably put it on orange. That really would have made it pop, but that's okay. And then here are my fun little mice. I think they're simply adorable. There's other components that come with that stamp set. Let me turn it right side up. There's moon, there's trees, there's a lollipop, a little star, because there's a ballerina mouse that she could have been holding the star. And there's a little mouse in a ghost costume that says, "Today is your birthday." That says, "Ooh." That says, "Whoosh." Says, "Boo." That's just an exclamation point. "Happy Halloween, trick or cheese." Haha. "You are bewitching." Eek, scary costume. "Witch, you were here." And "wishing or witching you a mice Halloween," or "happy Halloween," or "wicked day," or whatever. So anyhow, that's what comes. I'm sorry, there is a terrible glare. That's what comes with the, what was it called again? Halloween mice. Next, I'm going to do the background. To make the background, these are the supplies I'm using. I have a blendability paper. It's a just heavyweight paper from Ahuhu. There's other companies that make paper that you can blend ink on. This is just what I have and what I'm going to use. When I actually made some other cards, and they were the 5x7 and 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 cards, I was able to split this and do 2 for each one. I'm just going to do 1 just because I don't need any more cards, and so I can show you. I have a Stampin' Up circle punch. It's 2 3/8 inches. I like Stampin' Up punches. They're a high quality and they take up less space. And when you live and travel in an RV, come on, get in there. Space, there it goes. Space is important. So I am going to take that circle, make sure my blending thing, these are really high quality. No, they're not. They're from Dollar Tree. I probably have 6 of them that I use for different color families. Again, I don't have unlimited space to store things, so I have to do with maybe not the best quality, but what works. And I don't do that much ink blending, so all right, I'm just going to rub a little bit on here, and I'm going to hold this down. I don't have any alcohol. I'm starting light. I'm going to have a highlight right here. And just, it may be a little splotchy, but it'll be okay. And that is my moon. Actually, it could be a little bit darker. Okay, I'm taking some stamping blocks. I don't know what you want to call them. I'm going to dab just a little bit of black soot, which really is a gray. A little bit of this antique linen. Oops. Just a little. And just a touch of Villainous Potion. All on that same ink block. I'm going to squirt some water. I don't want too much. Oops, that might be too much. But that's okay. And I'm going to mix these colors. Okay. Next, I am going to take another ink block and put it on here. And I'm looking at where the water is, and I like it. My circle's where it needs to be. There's a lot of water here. I don't like that. There we go. And I'm going to take this and smush it on there. Whoops, it didn't smush because we've got that circle underneath. Oh, come on. I guess I'll have to go like this. You know what? I don't think this is perfectly straight. Going to add a little bit more water. It dilutes it a little, but that's okay. Way more than I wanted to, but that's okay. I'm going to deal with it. Let me dry that off. There goes my perfect circle. But by the time it's all said and done, it won't make a difference. Okay, now I'm going to take this circle that came out of our when we made the stand, and I'm going to cover this. I added a little bit of ATG just to make it stick. And now I'm going to start playing with my ink colors. I'm going to start with my Wilted Violet, although there's you won't be able to tell that I have Wilted Violet. I'm going to go around and I'm going to be fairly heavy with it. All right, and then I'm going to Villainous Potion. Yes, I'm using the same, whatever this is, blending brush. But I am going to change my brush to go to my blue, which again, I wish I had a different blue. I'm staying to the outside of that circle, but this one is very opaque. And I really only need this much, so I'm not going to go too far outside that. And then I'm going to take some black soot. And after I get the color down, you'll see I will try to work it all in and I'll work a little bit at blending it just so there's not a real big line between one color to the other. Then I'll take my heating tool and just heat it and then peel off the circle. Take it off, and I think that looks pretty good. Let me turn my light, check my light. So that looks pretty good. But you know, sometimes things look good, but they're not fabulous. I'm going to take my water tool. It's got water in it. I always try to clean off the tip of it so I can use it at a moment's notice. And I'm just going to go around the outside and try to get some of that purple to blend. And there we go. And then as a final touch, I am going to take some water. I just have a cheapo spray bottle. It is not the best. Yes, that Tim Holtz one is pretty cool. Try to hold it down and push slowly. And I will dab up some water drops. And there we go. That is my background. I'm going to cut it down and get it ready to put on a card. All right, I'm going to start putting things together. So I am adding my liquid glue to the back. Yes, that was a test case. Didn't like it. No harm, no foul. I could just use the back. And I'm going to put this, I'll give you the measurements because I don't know exactly what they are. So the inner piece, the one that I inked, is 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. The off-white is 4 1/2 by 6 1/2. I wanted something to tie in that moon. Now it's going to go on a piece of this dotted cardstock. I think it's basil. I don't know. It's purple. It's a real pretty purple. And I'm going to center that onto this 5 by 7 card base. So there is more of that purple showing. I feel like I want it over a little more. And I do have inside 6 and, is it? Yeah, 5 3/4, 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. So when you write a sentiment inside, it will show. All right, so we've got that. I like it. That white looks blotchy. It's just, it'll be fine. Okay, then I have the Happy Halloween. You know, on the other ones that were smaller, I had it right there in the center. I might lower it. Let's put the other features on. So we've got this guy. He's pretty cute. We've got that guy. And this one. Now I do have other elements I could add. I have a little spider. This is from a different set, but I could do a little, draw a little line down here and put them on there. Oh, think about that. I've got bats, but I don't know that I want to do the bats. We've got this pretty gal. And a ghost. And I've got a little lollipop. And I know somewhere I've got a star on a stick that she could be holding. All right, let's see. Let's put them all together. I don't know about this. So he could go inside there, sort of like that. Too much orange, so she goes. We could put these guys like he's giving that one the pumpkin. That's okay. And really don't even need that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and glue them down. All right, so here is the finished card. I sort of think it's cute. I had some black enamel stars. I think they were doodle bugs that went well. I tried white, I tried yellow, tried orange. The black just seemed to go. And I really do like the glitter paper that says Happy Halloween. It looks dark on camera, but when you see it in person, it's real fun. I just have white paper inside. I'll probably stamp maybe the ghost or something, or wishing you a happy Halloween. So I will go ahead and do that. So let me show you some other ones that I've made using the same idea. So this is a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So there's the moon, same thing with the black. I had bats from, I think it was last year's Lawn Fawn add-on kit. And it's just got the bat and then these two guys there. This one, or these two, are similar. So we're camping in Vermont, and the thing is, every evening we go and watch some beavers build a dam. So I had some Would You Be Mine, WOOD, from last Valentine's Day. It might have been 2 years ago. And I used the beaver. I had a random witch hat stamp. I'm not sure who it is. This came from scrapbook.com with a die set. That might have been scrapbook.com too. But anyhow, I added the hat to one of the beaver. This beaver has a little Halloween jack-o'-lantern candy thing, and then I put the bat there. I actually had inked this before I cut it with the Cricut, and it just makes a nice background, nice sentiment. So there is that one, and same with this. Just I didn't color the Happy Halloween, and I sort of like that I did. So there's those two. Now, so these are 3 of the same, although the sentiments are all a little bit different. Let me show you this. So what I did is I had a frame die. No idea whose it is. I've had it for a while. It's a stitched frame. It's just like 1/4 inch, and it's meant for a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card, but I put a larger orange border on it. Added, I also used this die to stamp some fun foam, and then I put some shaker elements inside. So that makes it a lot of fun and just add a lot of oomph to it. So I just put the mouse on a broomstick there, and those two, they are my favorite, obviously, and just a couple of different versions of that. So it's a lot of different cards, but it's using the same principle, using that circle to make the moon. This one, or these 3, just are a little more dimensional. So I thought that would be fun to show you something different, not a mini album. So don't forget to like and subscribe. I know you guys are used to me making mini albums, but go ahead and hit the like button that you'd like to see something a little bit different. I mean, we're all paper crafters. It's all paper. So thank you so much for watching. Have a fabulous day.